Michelle Torrio, and this is the Be Mindful podcast. Hi there, beautiful souls. Welcome back to the Be Mindful podcast. I am super excited because this is the very last episode of the Be Mindful podcast for 2024. And if you read the title, we are going to be focusing on something fun today. One of my favorite topics that has to do with mindset, a little bit of magic, and that's manifestation. Before we get into the episode, I do want to invite you to my free masterclass that I'm going to be hosting next week on January 6th at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. In this masterclass, we are going to be focusing on how you can reach your 2025 goals with confidence. I've been life coaching for about 5 years now, and the one thing I constantly see is that people have big dreams and big goals, but they're not creating an actual action plan to get there. Most people leave their goals in their head, or they write down their goal, but they don't actually create the steps to get there. This is probably the hardest part because you may be wondering, like, how do I put these steps when I have no idea yet how I'm going to get there? And that's why I created this masterclass, because it has been so helpful for my clients for them to visually see how they're going to get there. And again, this masterclass is completely free. I'm also going to provide you with a worksheet that I actually give my clients that they use to create their own action plan. And just recently, I just achieved one of my biggest goals, and I'm going to be able to share it with you guys in that masterclass. So if you want to see the steps that I created for my action plan and how I was able to achieve this, join the masterclass, because I am going to give you all the details, and I'm super excited to help you achieve your goals in 2025. So if you want to join me live next week, check the pinned comment below so that you can register. All right, let's get into this episode. So if you are someone that is completely new to manifestation, I'll just tell you what it is. Manifestation is the process of bringing something into your reality based on your thoughts, beliefs, and your actions. Manifestation is not something to just wish for things. It's really all about having intentional focus, and it's based on your beliefs, because your beliefs will create your results based on your actions. I'm not saying things won't manifest into your life that aligns with something that you're working toward. I'm definitely not saying that. What I'm saying is that things just won't pop out of thin air without you doing anything. And I'm for sure going to give you examples of what I mean by that, but let's just go more into how this manifestation works. So how it works is really based on your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. So for example, a couple years ago, I manifested the job that I have right now. So I actually left my full-time job in 2021 because I wanted to do full-time life coaching. In that same year, John proposed and we were engaged, and a lot of my goals actually started changing. They started shifting because I needed to make decisions based on how that's going to impact me and my husband, my future husband, and my husband today. And one of our big goals was getting a home together. And I knew that if you want to get a home, it is required to have a consistency in your income for at least 1 to 2 years. And mind you, in 2021, I just left my full-time that had consistency. So I told myself, okay, you're going to give yourself a year to navigate this and learn about being a business owner. And if you don't have consistency, you're going to look for another job. But it needs to be a job that you can still life coach, because I love life coaching. I love helping other people, and this is something I will never give up. So I told myself that I needed to find a job that not only gives me consistency, but it also gives me benefits, and then also gives me good pay. And I wanted the flexibility to work from home because I still wanted to work on my business on the side. I wanted the ability to still grow it from home and have a job that allows me to do that. And what's crazy is the day I started my new job, that was literally the week before my 1 year, when I decided that I was going to give myself a year to do this and then possibly shift into a full-time job. I share that story with you because I want to give you an example of how the manifestation worked. So I was very clear on what I wanted. I wrote all of that down. I also created an action plan of like what I needed to do. So for example, if you're someone that's looking for a specific job right now, you need to take the proper steps. So one of them can be making sure your resume is ready. The second one is you making sure that your actions are aligned with what you want. So are you looking at jobs every single week? Now I know looking for a new job can be very tiring, but if you want this, you're going to put in the work. And I wanted that. I wanted to make sure that wherever I went next, it was going to be a job that also aligned with my values and it was providing me for everything that I wanted. So this is me taking aligned action, which is part of the manifestation process. The second thing is the thoughts and beliefs in yourself. Like, are you trusting the process? Are you trusting that you are going to find the job that you want? Your thoughts is what is creating that focus, right? To manifest something, you need to focus on that one thing. So this is you focusing on the job that you want to get. And then the belief in yourself that you can do it, that's what's going to really help you take aligned action. That's how manifesting works. You not only have to believe it's going to happen, but you have to put in the work. I think we all know this already, of course, but that's why I believe in action plans, because you visually see what's possible for you. You may not realize it, but you are manifesting all the time based on your own thoughts. And what amplifies it is actually your emotions with it. So if you are constantly focused on fear and doubt and worrying, imagine those emotions and imagine how you're going to respond to those emotions. That is how powerful our mindset is. So we get to choose what we want to focus on. So if you are constantly worrying, you're subconsciously aligning your actions with fear and failure. And because we're constantly manifesting, this is where your power of awareness comes in. We have to choose to be mindful of the thoughts that we are focusing on. So this is why when we manifest, we need to be intentional. I was so intentional with what I wanted and I kept showing up over and over. And yeah, I'm going to be honest, I wasn't perfect looking for a job every single week because there were moments where I felt so stressed about it. And that's when fear started to arise. So that's when I allowed myself to kind of take a step back and tell myself, okay, I'll give myself a week to not look and I'll go back at it again. That is consistency. That is you showing up for yourself, even if it's not perfect. You have to really listen to yourself. And of course, I'm not telling you to focus on your emotion to keep you motivated. It's really telling yourself, okay, I'm just going to take a pause, but I'm telling myself I'm coming back to it this day. Manifestation is actually very simple when you think about what you need to do, but the action part of it is not the simple part. But again, we're humans. So of course, we're not going to have a perfect mindset all the time. We're of course going to doubt ourselves here and there because that just happens sometimes. But we have to be so much more powerful than that. We have to remember what we can focus on and that we can trust the process and that we can trust ourselves to get there. Let's talk about the benefits of our health when it comes to manifestation now. So if you are being intentional with your manifestations and you are purposely being mindful with your thoughts and your actions, you actually reduce the amount of stress that you have. The reason why is because you're purposely manifesting positive outcomes and you're focusing on the possibilities that are available for you instead of focusing on the worries. So when you focus on the unlimited possibilities that are available to you and you trust that what you want is out there or better, you are reducing your cortisol levels. So imagine if you actually worked on that. You worked on focusing on the positive outcomes instead of worrying so much. Trust me, I grew up being a worrier. I used to always fear the worst and never really focusing on the good things that could possibly happen. That created so much stress in my life, and that's the stress we don't need. Another positive about manifestation is that it improves focus and clarity. So you are choosing to set goals for yourself. And when you do that, you're activating specific brain regions, especially for decision making, which is all up here in your prefrontal cortex. And as you continue to think these thoughts and these beliefs about yourself over and over, you are creating neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity teaches us that our brain is able to develop new thought patterns, which also creates new behaviors for us, positive behaviors. You're also creating emotional balance and emotional flexibility. So the more you practice aligning your thoughts and your emotions, you're creating so much self-awareness. And this is so healthy for us because in long term, it does reduce your stress. All right, now let's talk about some practical practical steps you could take today so that you could start being intentional with your manifestations. The first step is clarity. What is your intentions? Why do you want it? And what are things that you don't want? I think it's very, very important to be very clear on what you do want and don't want. So write that list down. And that way, when you go into step 2, that's where you can create your game plan. Like, how are you going to get there? So this is you aligning your actions with your goal. You have to remember that manifestation is a collaboration of your actions and your belief. The belief that you can get there, the belief that what you want is available to you or better. And step 3 is to trust the process. You really have to trust that everything is unfolding at the right time, at the right pace. And this is exactly why creating an action plan is great, because you actually get to see your progress. Like, what have you done so far? And if you look at your action plan and you notice that you aren't taking certain steps, that's you taking accountability and recognizing like, okay, I have to get back on this action plan that I created. And the last step is to have gratitude and to pray. Gratitude allows you to focus on abundance and also recognize that you can do this. Like, you have the ability to go for your goals. And there's people out there who may be at the hospital and they're sick and they can't do anything but focus on getting better. So for you to have that ability, remind yourself, like, I can do this. Like, I actually am capable to do this. And I am grateful that I can. I'm grateful I'm healthy enough to do all these things. So never forget having gratitude. And the other part of it that is definitely optional, but something that I do, is praying. I know for a fact I can't do this alone. And everything that I have achieved so far, I have achieved this with God helping me. Anytime I start worrying, I start freaking out, I really just take a step back and lean on Him, because I can't do this alone. He has shown up for me in so many different ways that I can't even tell you, where I look back, I'm like, wow, thank you. Thank you for helping me, because the biggest thing you have to remember, whether you believe in God or not, or maybe you believe in the universe, maybe you believe in some type of positive light energy, whatever you believe in, I support you fully. That's all you. The one thing I want you to remember when it comes to manifesting is that you need to do your part. You need to step into that frequency of manifesting. So for example, a great way for me to explain it is, think of a radio, right? Let's say you're trying to listen to a specific radio station and you have to tune into that for you to hear it clearly. This is the exact same thing when it comes to manifesting. So your thoughts, your beliefs, and your actions have to align with that frequency of your desire. And when you are aligned and in that frequency, trust me when I say that things are going to come your way. You're going to attract them into your life. All those opportunities, like attract like. So if you are taking the steps, constantly believing in yourself and believing that it is going to come to you, God will provide. Trust me. You really ought to just lean in and trust the process, because I promise you, even if it takes you years to achieve something, trust me, when it happens, you'll look back and be like, oh, I know why this took longer than expected. That's why I'm so excited to share with you this goal I just manifested in the class next week, because this is something that I've worked so hard for, and there were so many moments where it felt like it wasn't going to happen, even how close I was. And then because I decided to choose to keep trusting in the process, trusting in God, man, an opportunity just opened up, and it literally just happened even better than I ever expected. So that is what manifesting is. That's how it works. That's how it benefits our health. And those are steps that you could take today. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope I see you next week in the masterclass. Like I said, it's free. Check the comment below that I have pinned, and then you can register for free. And if you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and comment below, what is something that you're working on manifesting? Let's support each other. And as always, don't forget to be mindful, because who you are from within will attract from the out. See you in the next episode. Bye, guys.